The real estate market in Manhattan took a big hit because of the pandemic, many deciding to move out of such a crowded city. But we're hearing the coronavirus crisis had the opposite effect on another borough. Bianca D'Alessio is a real estate agent here in the city and is part of million-dollar listing Ryan Serhant's Nest Seekers International real estate team. She joins us now. And Bianca, we've all heard about or even know someone who decided to move out of Manhattan during the height of the pandemic. Many just assumed they moved to the suburbs, but you're saying that wasn't always the case.
Definitely not always the case. We are feeling so much activity right now in Brooklyn. There's no doubt that buyers are looking in the suburbs right now, but we're seeing that they're more just so looking, and they're actually settling in Brooklyn. I think people are just looking for a change of pace. They're looking for a little bit more space, but at the end of the day, they want to be close to home, and New York City is their home, and people are seeing a lot of value in different Brooklyn neighborhoods right now.
Now, we've also heard reports of people moving out of Brooklyn. Is that not the case?
There's certainly some people that are moving out of Brooklyn, but most of the people that are moving in Brooklyn are upgrading their spaces. A lot of people don't have to go back to work for quite some time. So in Brooklyn, they can afford to stretch for that 2-bedroom or the 3-bedroom or get something with a home office. So we're seeing a lot of Brooklyn residents actually stay put, maybe expand a little further out into different Brooklyn neighborhoods and get some more space.
All right, there's still around 2.5 million people living in Brooklyn. It seems just as crowded as Manhattan, but what does Brooklyn have to offer that Manhattan does not, and why is it any better?
Well, I love Manhattan just as much as I love Brooklyn, but in Brooklyn, it's just totally a different vibe. It feels more residential. It feels more like a community. You could go into your coffee shop and they know your name. That's just not something that we see throughout Manhattan. There's also a ton more green space and parks and the waterfront, which is booming. There's so much vibrancy. Whereas Manhattan now has all of these restaurants that are coming onto the street for the first time, and it's really exciting. Brooklyn has always had this incredible outdoor dining aspect throughout all of the neighborhoods, and it just really feels a lot more residential, but people could also upgrade their finishes and their quality of life when moving to Brooklyn. Most buyers in Manhattan who at certain price points can't afford new development in Brooklyn can afford to be in a brand new building with amazing finishes and a great amenity package that they just can't get in the Manhattan. So they're really elevating their actual living environment.
Wow, okay. There's a new survey from the Siena College Research Institute and Manhattan Institute that says nearly half of New York City residents earning 6 figures or more have thought about leaving the Big Apple. So who is moving out? Are they families? Are they young professionals?
That doesn't surprise me at all. I think it's been a fleeting thought in everyone's mind during all of this. I think a lot of the families that moving out of the city, it was in their 3 to 5 year plan. It got condensed into a 3 to 6 month period. And so the people who were always planning on moving out have moved out. It's just expedited their plans. But young professionals are not leaving. Young families are not leaving that have 1 or 2 children and can still live and homeschool in an apartment. I think that's everyone's biggest fear right now. How with 3 children do I homeschool my kids in an apartment? But the young professionals who need to go back to work, single people who are looking to be out and to be at the restaurants and the bars and meet other people, they're not leaving the city. New York has so much to offer.
Right. Now, do you think this Manhattan exodus is temporary? Will the real estate market bounce back?
It sure will. It always does. We've seen this a few times before, but New York always comes back. I think in the next few years, it's going to be a really good buying opportunity right now for people. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing opportunistic buyers. We're even seeing people who are coming from the suburbs who are able to take advantage of an incredible seller's market in Westchester and Long Island and are like, what better market to park my money into right now? Because there will be that upside potential throughout New York City.
All right, Bianca D'Alessio, licensed real estate agent. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
If you're watching Currents News on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and then click on the bell to get instant updates about all of our newest content, because we are putting your faith in the news.